I like butts. You like butts. Some people don't like butts. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Izzy, and this is the Izzy Nobry Show. As you probably know by now, there's some gaming controversy going on the internet following the release of Blizzard's new first-person shooter, Overwatch. Apparently, one of the characters, Tracer, has what some deem to be a little bit needlessly sexualized victory pose that shows a little bit of, well, a little bit of butt. Here's the picture that's creating this whole controversy. Now, this is the part of the video where I have to play devil's advocate for a little bit. I understand how some people might be bugged by this. I get it. Sometimes there is this stereotype of gamers being prepubescent, salivating, horny, I get that, I understand that, and sometimes this is done really gratuitously. I totally get that. It makes me roll my eyes in some cases too. But at the same time, I don't fully understand what the end game is here for the people who are offended by depictions of sexuality. While again, I grant you that it's probably kind of upsetting for some women, and notice I say some women, and this is an important distinction that I'll mention later on, to see these things in video games. You're trying to escape reality and you're seeing this, it's upsetting you, and of course you're gonna speak out. That's totally fine. What I don't understand is what's the end goal exactly? Because why stop at video game sexualization? There's a lot of sexualization in media in general, in movies, in music videos, in magazines, in comic books and everything. If you want to just neuter everything, to just nerf everything, to just remove all sexuality from everything, what exactly are you accomplishing? And does it bother you that this puritanical twist in social activism it makes sex and sexuality out to be something that needs to be avoided at all costs? Does that... It seems odd to me. The reason it rubs me the wrong way, because it harkens me back to my Christian upbringing. I mentioned this in the videos before. My dad was the church pastor. My mother actually played the guitar at church, and Christianity surrounded every sphere of my existence when I was young, and there was that always looking out for, you know, this is too sexy, this is too satanic, this is, you can't do this, you can't do that, and that is bad, and I should write a letter to this, whatever. It rubs me the wrong way. Another thing that rubs me the wrong way was when people say that this pose by Tracer reduces her to a sexual object, and I can't agree with that. I was gonna say I can't agree with that 100%, but I can't agree with that at any level. If you see something in a person, whether they're real or fictitious, in somewhat of a sexy pose or anything like that, in skimpy clothes, and you say the words, they reduce them to a sexual object, they didn't. They put them in skimpy outfit. You are reducing them to a sexual object. You are basically implying they are nothing but tits and ass. And this just seems odd to me, coming from a movement that usually scolds people for criticizing somebody on the matters of their sexual behavior or what they wear. I believe they call that slut shaming. It just seems odd to me. Like, on one hand, you want to have the right to wear whatever you want because that should not dictate who you are as a person, and on the other hand, you're saying that this fictitious character wearing a skimpy outfit dictates who they are as a fictitious person. Am I making sense here? Somebody wearing skimpy clothes are not a sexual object, whether they're real or they're fictitious. It's you, I think, who are reducing them to a sexual object based entirely on what they're wearing. Like that defines their character or something. I thought we're not supposed to do that. I mentioned earlier about, you know, every woman and everything like that. And the thing too is, I don't think every woman is bothered by scenes of sexuality, be it in any kind of media. I'm certain there are some women, gay women, lesbian women, who actually enjoy the side of that. And I think that pitting men against women, like every dude likes this and every woman is against this, so this is a fundamental rift between the genders, I think that's kind of disingenuous. I don't think it's as simple as that. Ultimately though, I think my point here is I don't understand what the end game is with this puritanical twist to social activism. One thing I gotta give him though, let's stop calling this censorship. This is not censorship. Censorship is when the government steps in, when laws are created in a way that prevent you from expressing yourself. This is really just a company trying out a product, getting some backlash from people, and then deciding to reverse that decision. While I disagree with the mentality of the people wanting the change, this is just a company listening to customers. Let's stop calling this censorship. I think when you conflate this with censorship, you're trying to make it seem like something that's worse than it actually is, and I find that dishonest. But going back to my original point, the main thing here, I think the main takeaway here is you have to wonder what the end goal for these people who are very easily offended at depictions of sexuality, what their goal exactly is. Because I personally am of the opinion that if I see something that doesn't please me in some way, I just either I don't consume that, or I consume that despite those flaws. And I can write a blog about it and whatever, but people get very angry about this. People get very passionate about this, and I don't think they stop to really consider what the logical conclusion of this line of thinking is. So if we can't have depictions of sexuality in, say, video games, why stop at video games? Like I said in the beginning, why should there be porn then? Maybe we should find a way to shut down porn. Maybe we should shut down magic cards that have sexy characters on them, because there are a few, and sexy comic books. And where does it stop exactly? What is the world that you're shaping when you're browbeating everybody into submission if they dare to put sexy depictions in art? Like, maybe this is just me. I personally, it doesn't sit well with me because I guess of my upbringing. I saw this type of behavior, this type of like, you can't have this, and you can't have this, and you can't look at that, and that's sinful. That is sinful. Sinful slowly transition into problematic. The mechanics are really very much the same, and I just, as somebody who was brought up a Christian and saw, no, I can't. Anyway, this is what I think. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about video game butts, or any butts for that matter. And that's all the time we have for today. I'm Izzy, and I'm done. A video about video game butts. This is gonna be an awkward one for my coworkers to watch. Hey, Robin!